Hi everyone! Today I'm gonna continue stitching this floral frame, and I'm gonna be using metallic embroidery threads. I think I'm gonna use a combination of those two colors, and with those threads is gonna be the best it's the most comfortable way to do the frame right here, because I can use all 6 strands from the skein, and it's gonna create a nice bold border. And I will also add some leaves. I will be stitching leaves using those embroidery threads as well, so I will use a combination of those two. So one leaf will be a lighter gold, one leaf is gonna be darker gold, and you can combine those two colors. I'm gonna still I know that you voted in my stories that and this color win the most votes, but my mom loves gold, so I'm gonna use these gold threads as well, because this is a present for her. And before doing this, I removed the fabric from the hoop. I made sure that the shape of the fabric is right and it's not changed when I remove the hoop. So I hooped it back, and I also stretched the fabric using the washi tape on the sides here and on the bottom as well, because on those sides it doesn't really keep the fabric so much stretched that I want. And instead of sewing the fabric to the hoop side, I used this washi tape, because it can save your fabric, because your stitches can make holes on the side, and I would like to save the fabric in this condition. So this is what I'm gonna be doing today. And you need to make sure before doing it that your photo fits perfectly in this frame. Ignore those lines. The fabric was a little bit distorted because of this big flower, because a lot of stitches was in the same direction, and it's wrinkled the fabric a little bit, but those lines will disappear on heating, and I will create new lines with metallic threads. If the shape of the frame changed a little bit after embroidery, it can happen, yes. So when you will finish, you can cut your photo a little bit so it will fit perfectly in this space. Okay, let's start. I'm gonna start from those threads. If you want to use DMC, so it's gonna be this number E677. This is not too yellow, and I think it's gonna fit perfectly here. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the chat, or if you watch this video as a recorded video, you can ask me in the comments below. I'm always happy to answer your questions. I'm really looking for your questions, actually, because it's interesting how you use metallics and wear. And okay, so looks like I already had a piece cut from this skein. Let's see if it fits here in this space. So I will use a coaching stitch. Yeah, it fits perfectly here, so I can use this piece of the thread, and maybe how many strands is here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably I already used 2 strands from here. I wonder how many strands they have from originally. Let's count. They are twisted, and it's probably hard to figure out how many strands is here. I don't know, probably more than that. Okay, so I'm gonna use this, and I need one more strand of this metallic to attach it to the fabric, because I don't want to use any regular threads. I want everything look shiny. Maybe I will cut a new one because it looks thicker than this, a little bit thicker. Yeah, I'm gonna use a new cut. Did you guys ever stitch it with metallics? Or do you guys avoid using them? I know that some of you avoid using metallic threads, but I will help you with my tips, so you will not struggle stitching with them. So I take only 1 strand of metallic, and I take all 6 strands piece, and I'm gonna use 2 needles. Yeah, I avoid using metallics for sure. Yeah, it's a common issue, I know it. Let's try this big needle and thread them here. If it's not gonna work, so I have a bigger needle. Yeah, it can be hard to thread all of them. So I squeeze them between my fingers, and I try to push them all through the needle, and yeah, we got it. And we don't need a long thread on this side, because all the threads that we have we will use for laying down on the fabric, and we don't need it to be broken. The thing with metallic threads, the thread can be broken because of the needle eye. If it moves from one place to another during your stitching, it can be broken and it can change the shape of the thread. So I prefer to use a little tang here, and I don't thread it like into the middle, and like I use for regular threads. And probably I will not make a knot, but I will not make a knot on the back side, but I will make a knot on the front, and then I will cut it and sew the end of the thread to the fabric on the back side, so it will be laying flat. This is just a temporary knot that I will use. So I threaded 1 needle, it's ready, and I have 1 more thread, so I can, and it's only 1, and I can use a smaller needle. So I'll thread it the same way. I have only small tang here, and I will probably make a little knot. I will still need it. So, and here, if you want, yeah, I would recommend to make a knot right here, so your needle will not move. We cannot do it with more strands on for the other needle, because you will not be able to go through the fabric. But I can definitely do it with the only one strand of loss. So I fixed this thread here near the eye, so it will not move, and it will not break my thread. And because the common problem with metallics, you can often lose your thread from the needle, and when it moves it breaks the thread. So this is the method that I'm gonna use, and I will be using a coaching stitch. So I come up probably in this corner with my metallic thread, and I can park my needle here on the side. So now I'm gonna be basically using the smaller needle and one strand of loss, and I will be sewing this thread to the fabric, so it's laying flat and it's close to the fabric. And I laid down here, so I fixed this thread with my finger, so it creates a straight line right here. And all I need is to attach this thread so it's laying close to the fabric. I will try with a little big distance. The distance between my stitches is about 1 centimeter. Later I will see if I need to make more stitches between them. And when you stitch with metallic thread, just don't rush yourself. Take your time, because if you will be moving fast, your thread can make knots on the back side, on the front side, everywhere. So you just need to take your time. And if you was with the high quality metallic threads, they will not be too hard to stitch with. They should be comparatively softer comparing to the low quality threads, and it's comfortable to work with them. In this place, here we have a corner of the photo, and I would like to make a few more stitches to fix this thread on this place, so it will not move. Now I'm moving my thread down, and I will be working on another direction. And having the knot near the eye of my needle is very comfortable right now. I don't think that I need to keep my thread with my fingers, because otherwise I will lose my thread from the needle. I will need to thread it again, so it's very comfortable. I would really recommend you to do this way. You will cut this part of the thread anyway, because it will be broken, and just make sure that you have enough thread. Right now I'm not sure that I have enough thread. Maybe it will end it and I will need to start a new one. Let's see. Maybe. Okay, so we have a corner here. You can stitch on top of your embroideries if you need it, if you need to make a shape of your frame correctly. So I make 2 or 3 stitches in the corner. So it's gonna be right here, right where I want it. And now I will move my needles here and place it in another direction. Let me place it right. Yeah. So this is the coaching stitch. You can do it with a regular thread if you need. You can take all 6 strands and lace it down using only one strand of the same color. One more corner. I'm pretty much satisfied with the result. I think this floral photo frame looks gorgeous and it's shiny. I really like it. I hope I will have enough threads. I'm not sure, but I will try to make it. I need just a little bit more. Okay, I finished and I can go down with this another thread right here on the corner. See, and it's gonna be on another side. This way. And it looks like I forgot to make a faraway knot right here, because I made a knot on the back side. Yeah, such a disaster. I will have a knot on the back side. I will see. Maybe I will undo it and lay down flat this thread, and I will finish this this way. So you can finish your threads now. I will finish this small one. I will go and make a little loop right here. Can create a little knot, and I will hide the ends under my previous stitches of this flower, and then I will be able to cut the thread. And I also, to free my needle from this thread, I will need to cut it close to the knot. Yeah, I will use just one strand and I will put the ends together and will sew it to the fabric. Because I need to secure those threads so they will not fall apart. So I have a loop and I will start this another thread with a loop on the back side. And which direction should I place it? Okay, I will place it here. And here where I have already some stitches that I can use, I can place it here. And also I can do a zigzag or something like that, so it will stay on the place. I will change directions. And I will also need to help myself with my finger. Okay, and I will do another direction too. I just need to hide this thread on the back side somehow, so it will not move and it will not come up from the front accidentally. So probably this way it will help. How do you usually finish your metallic thread on the back side without any knots? Because I don't want to make knots. And this is just improvisation, you know. Okay, so I will cut it here. And I will finish this thread. Maybe later I will undo this knot, but I don't know, I will probably leave it as it is. Let it be this way. Okay, let's continue. And also to make the photo sitting in this place, I will not use any glue. I will just make a few stitches here on the corner, and here on the corner, and here. So I will be able to change this picture if I want. I see that I should cut a little bit on the right side so it will fit this place. Let's cut it just a little bit. See, it's already here. Everything looks nice. And I will just need to make a few stitches here. Okay, let's finish with this part, right? I will use one strand of metallic floss, and I'm gonna make corners. I'm threading my needle the same way. I make a knot here. I'm leaving only short tail right here, yeah, unfortunately I need to make a knot here as well, so it will fix my strand. Let's mark those corners. So I think this should be enough. I probably need to add those lines to my pattern, so you guys will have it from the very beginning. Yeah. So I will need to update my pattern. If you want to get this pattern, you can get it on my Etsy shop. And this is a stitching along, and you can stitch it with me. I already have made all the video tutorials for all the rest flowers you can see here. They're already available on my YouTube channel, and this video is gonna be available there as well. Okay, let's see. Does it look nice? No, it looks like this line is not really correct. Let's fix it. It's gonna be just a regular satin stitch, but I will make long stitches. I try to make my stitches really close to the border, and let's see if my photo can fit here without problems. Let's test it. Okay, I guess it works fine. Yeah, I just need to make it really close to the border, maybe even closer, so there will be no gap here between the photo and between the outline, but you know, in general it is fine. To make those stitches really close to the border, you can go like under this border almost, and when you go from the top you can do it like in the under the angle, so you can go like under the border. Yeah, 5 to 6 stitches and it should be enough. And I will finish this thread on the back side. Let's check how it works. One corner, two corner, another corner, and one more corner. Yeah, it fits very well actually, and it keeps the photo like perfectly, so you can move this photo to the side, you can turn it back. It's not falling away, it's not falling down, so I really like this. Yeah, and you can change this picture if you want, you can place another one if you have, like, it's really cool. Let's stitch this leaf. I need only one strand of floss. It's this floss, you can split it actually to 2 strands if you want, carefully, but I will use this solid. It's originally it's like twisted, but it goes with two strands together, so I'm gonna use both of them, and I will stitch the leaf. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna make a knot here near the eye of the needle here, but make sure that your needle is thick enough so you can go through the fabric with this knot and this thread right here. My plan is to embroider only those lines for this leaf, and I'm gonna do it using back stitch, and then I will be whipping this back stitch. So this is my favorite way if I need to do some outline using metallic threads. So I will go this way. Because I will be whipping this back stitch, because between those stitches you can see a little holes. See it, and it doesn't look like a solid line. And to make it smoother, you can do whipping, and it calls whipped back stitch. And as you noticed, I also used whipped back stitch for the stems of the leaves. So this is my favorite stitch. I like it more even more than stem stitch. So to whip it, you can just come up on the end of the line and just slide between your back stitches like this. You can help yourself with the finger from the back side. Just pull up the fabric, and it will help you to go directly between the thread and the fabric without splitting anything. With metallic threads you need some patience. Just do it slowly, don't hurry, and you will not have any knots or any problems with this. See, it created a nice line. And to finish this line, you just go where you started. And I start another line on the right side. And I started from here, not accidentally. I was planning where I will do my stitches. So I started here, so I'm able to go to this side and go back whipping it, and then I can start another line from this side and go back, and from this point I will also start another line and go back. So it's not accidentally that I started from that place, because I wanted to be able to continue stitching using my the same thread, and so I will not need to jump far away from one place to another. You can also use regular embroidery threads for this. For sure, if you don't like metallics, that's fine. Just use regular embroidery threads and don't stress yourself. I'm still thinking which color of thread and which type of thread to use for the last element we have here. So if you guys have some suggestions, let me know. So we created a nice bold border here for the leaf, and now we can stitch what's inside all those flames. And I like to make them thinner, so it's gonna be just one straight stitch. Let's try to make a split stitch here, because this stitch, it looks too long. I know how it's gonna look. Let's see how it's gonna look, if you like it. And here we go, we have a leaf completed. You can go ahead and stitch another leaf. And we also have this teeny element which is not done yet over here on the left side, and we have it all the way through the entire pattern. We have it here, we have it here, as you can see, and here is another one. So let's stitch it too, and so I will be able to finish entire composition by tomorrow. I'm still thinking which color to use for this. I'm thinking about the orange. I think this one goes better because it looks nice with all the rest yellow flowers, and you can also use some variated threads. Let me take a look which kind of threads do I have, and maybe it will give some interesting effect. So we can use this one. I think it looks really nice. Let me zoom it out and you will see the entire composition. So we can use this color for those parts, and the color will be changing it. It will give some variation of the colors, and I think it's gonna look really nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this color, and this is DMC, and the color is 4120. Yeah, it's gonna look really cool. And I will probably use 3 strands of floss. And I'm gonna go with lazy daisies and just a whipped back stitch. Preparing my threads, make sure that you take one strand separately and you let it to unwind, so it's not gonna be twisted together. So right here we have a thread, and You just need to take a look which colors it has, how it changes, how fast the color changes. Just learn your thread and see how it looks, and so that from this you can plan where you will start stitching, with which color you will start stitching, and all the rest. So I decided to start stitching from this part. And I'm gonna do lazy daisies. So I made a few lazy daisies, and I see that the color became darker, and I want to make my stems to look darker. So I'm gonna go and make the stems. You can do stems with split stitch, you can do them with back stitch only, or you can do them with whipped back stitch. There is some variety of stitches that you can choose from. Be careful when you will be whipping your stitches, so you will not split any other stitches accidentally, like I did just right now. So you will have this loop. I will try to fix it later. Just carefully, no rush. I have some more orange threads, so I will do the stems first, and then when the thread will be changed, I will switch to the lazy daisies. And now I see that the thread color is changing, and it's gonna become lighter. So I do the lazy daisies, which I see on the bottom first, and then all the petals which are on the edge or on the top, they will be lighter. So there will be some variety of color shades, and it will give you effect like it's realistic leaves. Here we go, and the same way I will stitch all the rest little leaves like this. Let's take a look how it looks. In the composition that we have, I think it looks really nice. You can go with just a satin stitch and make those little stitches as a satin stitch. You can go ahead and make some berries. You can add some red berries or orange berries or any kind of color you like. Just to experiment and see what you like the best. I really like this photo frame. Let me try one more picture here to see how it's gonna look. I really like it, and I like that I can change the pictures. Yeah, the previous picture I just cut a little bit on the right side, so I will cut this one as well. And this is how it looks. If you like this embroidery design, you can download it on Patreon if you join my stitching club, or you can also find it on my Etsy shop and get it from there. I'm sure that you will get a lot of satisfaction by stitching this project, and it can become a really nice gift for your mom, for your friends. Just think about how many color variations you can use, how you can use different color of the fabric. Just experiment, and I'm always excited to see your works. If you stitch something from me, just share it on your social media pages and mention me. You can also send it directly to me, so I will see it, because I'm not always seeing your progress shots and completed works. So just share it with me, and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. All the videos from this stitching along will stay there, and you can watch it anytime you want. You can find all the videos from all those flowers and leaves you can see right here. They're already there. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for chatting with me today. I'm gonna go and stitch all the rest leaves and that we have right here, and tomorrow I hopefully will be able to share the entire completed composition. So see you next week. Thank you so much. Bye guys.